All right, folks, we're back. It's a Thursday evening. We got Jets Patriots on the telly. The Jets just scored to take the lead. Week 3 coming up. We had plenty of surprises in week 2. Jalen is going to get to take some unfortunate victory laps during this episode, so just brace yourselves for that. We'll see how long that lasts, but you certainly were right about some things that week, so I'll give you credit. The Sam Darnold experience. I mean, what a twist. Credit to you.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you feeling? Well, I guess we'll just start with that. Should the Vikings have drafted? Is the JJ McCarthy pick a mistake? Is Sam Darnold just going to be the guy forever?
You never know. First of all, it's always good to have, a Mahomes in the backfield, ready to go, champion. So let's not forget. Yeah, I remember that. But wouldn't be too mad if this Sam Darnold thing goes, because something tells me that by the time Archie gets out of college, this is when the Sam Darnold experience, if it were to go more than one season, would end. So I'm hoping right around there, we just swoop in, take Archie, and this is all just a good old, just a great way of progression. But right now, it's awesome. I gotta say, when you have, like I said, when you have low expectations for the season
Hey,
going in, this is already just a huge high. So, one last reality check game to go again. No, we got another interesting one. It's gonna be interesting to see how this one goes. I have obviously takes ready for this one as well, but. I mean, yeah. Even though, yeah, I'll get a victory lap or two here. I still went 1-2 in locks, so it's not doing too good here. And same thing with my with the upset. I got that. That was Vikings. So yeah, we're feeling pretty good. Besides that, and plus we're getting closer. Colby, we're getting a lot of NBA drama too already. We're getting closer, bud. We're getting into the busy time of the season.
oh yeah, the NBA's going to be picking up here before you know it. So certainly, we'll be on the lookout.
Already has. Have you heard? I know this is an NFL day, but have you heard the fun internet rumor that's starting up? That it might be involving a Ben Simmons to Golden
Oh,
State.
that doesn't count. I thought you were going to say something real. That's like
I
every
know.
favorite annual tradition. Give me a break, Ben Simmons.
Yeah, he just dropped his latest gym workout video. That's why.
Yeah, it's classic. He's at least consistent. Got to give him credit. He's very
Yes,
consistent.
sir.
So, yeah, before we start, Cristian is here. I'll just recap the locks and then throw it to you, Cristian, because we were just saying before you got started. Not a great week for the locks. We were all below 500. Lou is smoking us. Went 2-1 again. He's 4-2. Cristian was a full point away, was combined 1 point away from being 3-0. But instead, you went 1-2 because you lost on the hook in Seahawks and the Texans game. Seahawks -3.5, won by 3. Texans -6.5, won by 6. So just brutal there. So Cristian, how you feeling? And also, your Ravens lost to Jalen's Raiders somehow. So how we doing over there?
Um, I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. Um, the hooks are killing me right now. Like this is not fun. Understanding you're on the right track, but god dang, does it get you at the last bit? That has been bothering me the whole week. Just sitting here going like, what am I? Is it me? Is it a me problem? And so a lot of just self-reflection has just been happening in the past couple of days. I got to bounce back. Like I'm better than this, and it starts around this week, hopefully. And
That's
then regarding the Ravens, season's over. Season's over.
wow.
It's over.
Oh, I did not expect this.
I'm just letting myself down early so I don't get hurt later.
Oh, you can't just be joining the train on the letdown train, huh?
Oh,
I'd
man.
rather have lower expectations than go any higher again
Wow.
because it's
that's
over. It's
that's
over.
heartbreaking to hear, man.
I don't know if it's over. I wouldn't say that.
It's over.
I said this
Okay.
hasn't happened since like 2015, right? This hasn't happened since 2015. That was the last
Yeah.
time this happened,
Well,
0-2, and it only happens like this is the fifth time in franchise history. So
yeah, it's very hard to move the ball when Lamar's running for his life the entire time because our offensive guard and our offensive tackle are simply just like delusional and just not blocking out there. I mean, Lamar, I mean, he's still doing his best. He's still getting a part of that. He's fifth in the passing yards. Like the guy is doing whatever he can, putting his Superman cape on. And then it's pretty hard going against the refs. Like I'm one here where I don't like going against the refs, but the refs have been atrocious to the Ravens games in the past 2 weeks. It is absurd right now. So there's been that front, and then defense is just letting the big plays happen, and just when no needed. So fourth quarters, but of course, Stephen A. Smith is just going to sit there and blame Lamar the entire time. But it hasn't been Lamar's fault.
No, sorry.
So clearly, and also Shannon Sharp does not watch Ravens games. That bozo was
Shannon Sharp has other stuff going on, so I can't blame him for that.
Shannon Sharp needs to watch film rather than move the hips, because clearly he does not watch film saying that Baltimore has the same offensive line from last year. Shannon Sharp, we have 3 offensive new starters. 2 are rookies.
Yeah, man, that O-line. The O-line stuff is tricky, man. The Steelers, I mean, they actually finally have a decent line now, but I mean, it took 6 years to figure it out. So it's tricky. I wouldn't say
it's doing so good that Justin Fields is looking pretty good over there. I mean, golly, I'm telling you, man, this 10-0 hype train might be coming for you guys once again. Where you guys are going to go 10-0 and just collapse.
I would love it, but
they still have low expectations. I mean, they still haven't broke 20 points, so I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. But Tomlin is loving it, and he had an all-timer. The hot dog quote this week was an all-time Tomlinism. So, like I said, he is in mid-season form. I mean, he is dialed in this year. He is in his full bag. More touchdowns than wins, and he's spitting fire lines. That's where he wants to be. So this game, I mean, Thursday night, Jets-Pats. I mean, we don't have to talk about it much. The Jets had a nice long drive, and I got to imagine the Patriots fans are going to be ready to see Drake May here before too long.
No. I'm having live on the boots reporting here. They don't want Drake May to go in yet. They'd rather have Drake sit and learn, even though understanding that you have some hard times ahead of yourself.
It does seem to be like it might be flipping back to where I do wonder if teams will start sitting the quarterbacks more, because just all the rookies have been so bad. They've all been. I mean, Jane Daniels been okay, but the others, Caleb Bo Nick's been a disaster. Anthony Richardson, who's not a rookie technically, but has been a disaster. So we'll get down the line here.
I mean, Michael Penix has the most passing touchdowns by a rookie right now.
Tied for the most rookie passing touchdowns. That's right. All right. So yeah, as I mentioned, the locks, the standings on the year: Lou is 4-2. I'm 3-3. Jalen 2-4. Cristian 1-5. As we said, just had some heartbreakers. We need a bounce back week, but I really like the board this week. I like it a lot more than last week. Last week was fishy. We had too many squad picks, which we did okay. I mean, we're 500, so it could have gone worse. But I didn't like any dogs last week, so of course there were lots of upsets. I like a lot more of the dogs this week. I'll just say that. So it's actually a great slate of games. Almost all of these games are pretty interesting. But we are going to start with one of the few that is not at all interesting. And that's Giants at the Browns. So that's the first one I see here. Browns won a gross game over the Jags. The Giants should have won that game, but their kicker was injured, so they couldn't kick any extra points or field goals, and it was just ridiculous. That Washington Giants game is absurd, where Washington kicked 7 field goals and won. The Browns are 6.5-point favorites. This is a weird one. I mean, I'm not going to give you too deep analysis on this. Even though the Browns won and they seem to have a good defense and they can run the ball, I mean, I'm not, as bad as the Giants are, I'm not comfortable swallowing 6.5 points with Deshaun Watson against anyone except probably the Panthers. So I'm actually going to take the Giants and the points here, begrudgingly, even though I think they're terrible. They at least looked a little bit more competent in that against. Granted, they're playing Washington, but I'm not swallowing almost a touchdown with Deshaun Watson. Sorry, that's too many points for me.
Understand your reasoning, Colby. I'll hop in here and I'll go ahead and say I'll take the Browns and the points, just because Cristian. I don't know. I have to ask you this. Have you ever put a defense on the dues list?
No, and I will never do so. That is a very risky play right
That's
there.
that's very low odds. Yeah, that would be impressive if you hit that.
So I would put money down. I think the Cleveland Browns might be able to score on the Giants.
Can
Their defense.
you even do that? Is that even like allowed?
Yeah, you can do that. You can.
Parlay a
That's a FanDuel
defense?
prop. I don't know. I feel like it's pretty low just because Daniel Jones has already done it once this season to the Vikings. So, and it can. Yeah, I say it can happen. I don't know what those odds are, but I think the Browns defense would be enough for them to cover this line. So that's the main point of that, though. Christian.
Yeah, I'm not laying that much points to the Browns. Give me the Giants plus 6.5. That's too much. And I feel like the Giants are gonna be that team that always, hangs around, but they won't get the job done. Malik Neighbors is he might lose himself on one of these games, honestly. I wouldn't be shocked if he pulls an AB. But yeah, give me the Giants for points.
The Cleveland defense has higher odds than most of the Giants' backup receivers and half the odds of the Giants' defense, sitting at 650 odds to score. All I'm saying is, even the bookies know.
I mean, it's not crazy to think that they'll get a pick six off Daniel Jones. I do think Cleveland wins, but that's too many points. All right. This game, next game, interesting. Not exactly pretty, but interesting for sure. Bears at the Colts. This line is fishy to me. Almost to pick them. Colts are a 1.5 favorites at home, even though they just lost to Malik Willis. I don't know how the Colts are favored in this game. I know Caleb has had a rough start, but the Bears' defense is excellent. It's been legitimately really, really good through 2 games. And Anthony Richardson is just, I mean, I think that was a good call by all of us. I think we were all pretty low on the Colts going into the year. I feel good about that 0-2. I mean, the upside is exciting, but he is not ready. He should have probably sat for last year and this year. Just is not accurate. Too many turnovers. So I think this is going to be a gross one. The over-under, let me check the over-under is 43.5. I would take the under on that. But I just think the Bears defense is just too good. So because of that, I'm taking the Bears here, getting a 1.5.
I'm going to take the Bears as well. I think this could be a big game for Caleb Williams. I don't think the Colts have as much of a rough defense that they've been going up against on the defensive line. Forrest Buckner might be able to eat, but that's about it. So I'm going to take the shot here. I'm going to go say Caleb Williams has a breakout game. He finally gives the Bears fans what they've been looking for. And I think the Bears will cover this line, yeah, easily with the upset.
I'm on the Bears too.
It's
Yeah.
fine. We weren't atrocious on the squad rides. As long as we don't have 8 again, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. The Colts scare me. They are the F-it team, really, with half of their plays. Anthony Richardson, simply like he just looks lost at points, and next moment he's like rocketing a 50-yard pass. Like the guy is no in between. There, if he can make his medium short passes the same as the way he's making his deep passes, maybe he has a chance. But that's it. The Bears defense is carrying over here. I mean, as we saw Caleb has to get a pass and touchdown of some sort this weekend. Like he has to be right. We'll see. But I would probably have taken the dog in this matchup, no matter who it was. So since Chicago's a dog, give me that.
All right, first squad ride of the day, Bears plus 1.5. Okay, next game. Now we get into the really fun stuff. This next 3 games, this is an awesome 3 games right here coming up. First,
Titans. Oh man, I know that was fun.
no, that's not what I'm referring to.
Oh.
Jalen, your team,
Oh.
stunningly 2-0 Vikings, who I thought under 7.5 was the best pick of the year that I could have made, and that's not looking so good. At home for the Texans, who are also 2-0. The Texans 2.5-point favorites on the road in Minnesota. How do you want to do this? Would you like us to go, or do you want to go first?
Go first. It seems to give Sam Darnold good vibes. So I'll take the helm, and obviously, I'm with the Vikings here. And the main reason why is honestly the same reasons that we probably saw from last week. 49ers were a really good team, guys. But guess what? So are the Texans. This week, I've heard the Texans might be the AFC Niners coming up. And just the way they're built and the way they're trying to construct their team, I was like, okay, endless supply of running backs and steady hands in the receiver department. Yeah, solid defense, of course. So it's almost like we're facing another 49ers team. That's strange. It's almost like, once again, I'm going to be putting my money and the bet on Kevin O'Connell. I really do think that this man's going to be the secret weapon to us winning this game again. I'm going to say the Rams Super Bowl OC, I should say, is going to cook the 49ers. And he has the method to do it. I think he's going to see the Migos defense and he's going to do what he's got to do. And I'm excited to see what Brian Flores has cooked up for CJ Stroud. I really am. I hope I hope he dials it back a little bit. I don't think he will. I feel like it's just because he knows it's a big spot. He's probably going to keep sending the house a little extra. They actually have good receivers, so let's probably dial it back a little bit, but we'll see. I'm all for it. I want to see what we got. So give me the Vikings, obviously. I'm going to take the Vikings.
All right, Cristian.
Give me the Texans -2.5 here. The Texans will be the last remaining undefeated team this year. They're hitting all cylinders. Joe Mixon may be out Sunday, but I mean they're hitting on everything right now. They're looking pretty good. CJ's looking pretty solid. I mean he could possibly honestly make the discussion if he keeps going this way, MVP. Which I do have a bet on, actually, funny enough, at the beginning of the year, for CJ Stroud MVP season. He has resources, he has everything. So I think they're gonna ride that. Sam Darnold, I mean, I was probably honestly the one that made a legitimate case on the Sam Darnold situation right now. Jalen was a little hesitant, a little. I was like, no, calm down. I think Sam Darnold's going to have a really great year. So arguably, Sam Darnold's going to have his greatest year ever that he's joined the National Football League.
Wow.
So I think this game's going to be a shootout. I really do. I think the Texans are going to squeeze it out at the end, however, because the Vikings just beat the Niners. You only get one good week, and you know the Viking way. You only get one good win every 2 weeks, right? You can't get them back to back. That's not how this works.
Oh, we had them back to back. That was pretty good against the Giants. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But yeah, give me that.
Some good points there.
Yeah, that's a great point. You make great points there. That's fair.
Rodgers is healing right now. He might be back. Or the Patriots just released. Look, this is probably good news for you, Jalen, because so far I've been very wrong. But fool me, what is they saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I don't even know. I love KOC. He is by far the coach of the year right now through 2 weeks. He's excellent. You know, when we did our first ever episode of this podcast, when we did the coach hires 2-3 years ago, I said how I told you I like the hire more than you did. I was like, this is a great hire. I'd be very excited for your Vikings. And I love him. I'm still not 100% that Sam Darnold's not going to turn back into a pumpkin at some point. I'm just kind of waiting for it. Is Jefferson playing? Is he banged? I know he got banged.
He'll be playing.
He's playing? Okay. I'm taking Houston here. I mean, I think I'm going to be wrong on the under. On the Vikings because they have looked obviously very good, and the defense, as you mentioned, has been very good for us through 2 games with Flores. He's been a terrific defensive coordinator. So I believe in your Vikings more overall, but I really believe in the Texans. And man, I just love CJ Stroud. I mean, this guy, he's like the it guy. He's excellent. Everything he does. The whole thing with Caleb Williams after the game last week was hilarious. Where he's talking to him like he's a 15-year veteran. They're like the same age. He's like, "You're gonna be a great player in this league someday if you can work on this, and this."
Like, stop taking the hits. Stop taking the hits.
Which is wild, but man, like, he's so smart and he can just make unbelievable throws. And I just feel like the biggest thing with CJ Stroud too is I just feel like he is so calm and collected. He's got everything you want from a franchise quarterback. So I really buy the Texans a lot. And their offense wasn't even great last week, but they just have too many guys. I'm taking Houston here minus the 2.5.
Man, once again on a nice and lonely stand.
This is
I
probably
can't
good for you.
wait to
This
see.
probably means people should hammer the Vikings because they're
Maybe,
working for you
maybe.
for 2 weeks.
My thing is, Colby, I'm actually sitting right there with you though, waiting for this pumpkin for Sam Darnold to turn into a pumpkin. I do expect it to happen. I expect it's going to be a game where it's like, oh, the Vikings, after what they've been through and what they pull off, they should definitely win this game. And that's when it shows up. Show. And
It's
it's
going to
like,
be
oh,
against a bad team. I could see it.
yeah. So I can definitely see that happening. And as a Steelers fan, you can definitely can relate to that. So
Yeah. The Steelers have had nothing but pumpkins going back for 2 years, 3 years. So
and some iconic you gotta win this moment games for them. Oh, come on, Brees punching in. Oh, brother, he got stopped at the one.
yeah,
That is some fantasy
Patriots
brutality right there.
might stink. I gotta tell you.
I swear,
Which
if they
makes
put in
sense.
that rookie, that 20-year-old kid that's
That's
broken the record for
Solomon
being the youngest
Thomas?
player to ever happen, Cristian, no. Did I just call it?
Yeah, so, you'll see. Solomon Thomas lines up in fullback.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, next
As
game.
long as it's not Garrett Wilson.
One of the best games of the day. This is a fun one, especially with the recent how Monday night went. Eagles at the Saints. Saints are 2.5 point favorites. Saints, the surprise team. They were 1-1 in our over-under draft, was under on the Saints, and we all thought it was a very good pick by Cristian. Through 2 games, they look terrific. And before we even start, I have to ask, have you guys seen the video, the TikTok about Derek Carr in election years? Have you all seen
No,
that?
I
No,
have
what
not.
Okay,
is
I'm
No.
gonna
this?
send it to you right now. But it was hilarious. Apparently, the 2 best years of Derek Carr's career previously were 2016 and 2020 in election years. And now he's balling out in election year. So election year Derek Carr maybe is just elite. I was not aware of this. Twitter's not working because it's just a terrible app now. Thanks, Elon. But if it does start working again later, I will send it to you. But yeah, apparently Derek Carr just carves it up in election years, which is interesting. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna send it to y'all. But Saints are 2.5 point favorites, and I don't know if I fully believe in the Saints. If this is going to be sustainable yet, I'm going to need to see a little bit more. But I love them in this game because the Eagles' defense is bad. Their secondary is not. They're playing the rookies in the secondary, not good. You saw what your boy Kirko did to him on Monday. Um, we got a challenge in this game. It's gonna be interesting. So
That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown.
I love
I'm
the
saying
Saints.
it has to be a touchdown.
I love the Saints here -2.5. The Eagles defense is not good, man. So I just think Derek Carr. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I think they're going to keep on rolling in this game.
Well, that's very interesting. You mentioned the election year stuff. I'm looking forward to that TikTok. But
It's not working right now.
I,
I'll send it later.
I am. I'm going to take the Eagles here on a bounce back. I know. I know it's a risk. What was the line again?
It's not much. It's Saints -2.5. So you're getting 2.5.
New favorite as well, though, in this
Yeah, they
game.
played
That's
New Orleans.
insane.
I mean, they did just absolutely mollywop the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles here and the underdog spot. Because I mean, you got to think about it. The Eagles' play style is very take the ball and just slowly grind your way to the field type stuff, especially when they don't have AJ Brown. He'll probably be back. If not, especially without AJ Brown, they're not going to be doing too much explosive plays. So I see this being them trying to just take the ball away and have the Saints offense not cook them because they all know the defense is shaky. So I think their boring play style will help them cover the line here. I'm taking the Eagles.
We're
Hi.
talking about Derek Carr here. All right, let's slow the
Election year
roll
Derek
here.
Carr.
Let's slow this down. You can make the same argument for the Sam Darnold as what Colby's doing. I'm gonna make the same argument for Derek Carr. We know what's gonna happen. The actual Derek Carr is gonna show up here, and so I'm gonna die by the sword if this is gonna be my 2022 Colby Bears. I'm willing to die with this. I'm gonna fade the Saints continuously. Give me the Eagles with the points here. But I'm not taking these Saints. Like I just know what's
We
going to
just
happen.
officially cured the disease as well. I feel like those squad rides were the Saints' way of winning. If we finally figured out that if we don't squad ride on the Saints, maybe, just maybe, they'll fall apart.
We have been squad riding it. Have squad riding against the Saints both weeks, so we'll see if this helps them. Okay. All right, next game. My team, the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, 2-0 matchup with the Chargers. And let me tell you what, folks, if you like 1970s football, this is the game for you. The score of this game is going to be quite low. About 80% of the plays are going to be runs. There's going to be hard hitting, physicality, and it's going to be great. The Steelers are 1.5-point favorites. The over-under, by the way, this is I haven't gone through the whole list. I'm imagining this is the lowest of any. It's 35.5, which is insane. Oh, that is a crazy low number, but it makes sense. Justin Fields starting again. Give me the Steelers here just because I think they can win this game. The Chargers, they beat the Raiders. I guess the Raiders win looks a little better after last week, but they have played the Raiders and the Panthers. I don't know that I would call that a murderer's row. I mean, the Steelers have played the Falcons and the Broncos, but I like the Steelers defense to be able to disrupt things for the Chargers a little bit more. The Steelers defense is excellent. I mean, they were just absolutely terrorizing both Bo Nix and Kirk Cousins. And granted, Bo Nix is, I don't think, very good, but this is a close one. I mean, I could easily see the Steelers not winning this game. Obviously, no game is safe when you can't score more than 17 points. But I'm going to take the Steelers here cautiously. I'm feeling good, and I just need Justin Fields to do enough to keep the job because, come on. I don't need to see Russell Wilson. There's no way he's going to be able to do anything more in this offense that Fields isn't doing. I don't want to see it. Just roll with Fields. Just trade Russell Wilson to Miami or something. It's unnecessary. He's got to be the guy. Let's just see what happens. I'll take.
That's a great point. Not Justin Fields, Russell Wilson to Miami. I like that. I'm going to take the Steelers as well. I think that the Steelers, the matchup I'm looking at here is not even going to be any star players, or at least in, the fun positions. This is going to be a TJ Watt battle versus Joel. That's what I'm looking at. I'm going to be watching those two go at it. And like you said, Colby, this is a 1970s matchup. This is going to be a rock fight in the definition of one. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be, I was about to say, this game's going to be over in 90 minutes. This is going to feel like a movie. Because they're going to actually play 30-minute quarters. The TV timeouts are going to be the only thing that's going to be your saving grace for a break. So I'm looking forward to this game just because, again, 2-0 teams, new Harbaugh coming over there. The only thing that I'm concerned about is this the game where we see Justin Herbert finally put on the cape and everything and play superhero ball and he lets it go and he wins this game? Because we haven't had to see that yet. J.K. Dobbins is cooking for the Chargers. So I'm taking the Steelers, though, because they're at home, and I'm just more confident in that.
I think in this matchup, I would have taken whoever the dog was because of how low scoring we're talking about. So I would have just talked myself into whoever has the points happening. I might as well go with that. So I will be taking Chargers plus 1.5. But if the Steelers were in that situation, I would have taken the Steelers. It's going to be a true ground and pound, straight in your face, true AFC North type football. You have Harbaugh over there. You have Greg Roman over there, he's doing a solid job with the run game. I mean, that's a specialty, the run game. He's doing a great job with JK. JK, hey, I'm happy for JK, man. I love JK. His little limp always gives me a laugh, but he's doing his job. He's being electrifying. So proud of you, JK. Keep doing it up. You're on my fantasy team. I picked you for a reason. But give me the Chargers points just because of the dogs.
Do you miss Greg Roman, Cristian? You're looking back at him a lot. Do you miss him?
No, I don't miss that guy.
Oh no, you just look back at him again.
All right, we got only 5 minutes on the Zoom, but I think we'll be able to do this next game pretty quick. So we're going to do one more on the Zoom. Broncos at the Bucks, two teams that are in very different places right now. The Bucks are 6.5-point favorites, coming off just winning outright at Detroit. So happy for Baker, man. I mean, it's just a perfect fit. Him and Tampa Bay. Their defense is good. Tampa Bay is good, man. They are legit good. I think I believe in this fully being sustainable. And I'm very happy for Baker. And also on the flip side, I mean, I watched the entire Steelers Denver game last week, and maybe this is me confirmation bias. I know it's only been 2 games. Maybe it's confirmation bias because I didn't believe in him coming out. But Bo Nix is awful. He is not going to be good, I don't think. It's just not. I don't buy it at all. I was never felt the Steelers offense. They only scored 13 points in that game, and I was never nervous once that Bo Nix was going to drive down the field and beat them. I was like, yeah, they're fine. So this is probably the only big favorite that I really like this week. There's not a ton of big favorites as well. I'm taking the Bucks minus 6.5. I mean, the Broncos are not good.
Home too. I mean, great speech, Colby, but you're just forgetting to just give Baker a little bit even more credit that's even deserved. I mean, golly, he's just been balling out. It's awesome to see what he's been doing. And that's why I kept just completely agreeing with you. It's just because those are just the same thoughts that were going through my head when I picked them to only have over 7.5 wins. That sounds like a crime at the rate that they're playing right now. I might snag that by week 8 almost.
7 games.
Yeah, that might actually happen faster than we expect. So I'm just saying, shout out to the Bucks, man. They're playing hard. It's crazy to see how Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, honestly, is the one that I see more of the highlights of. I have Mike Evans, but I'm getting a lot of jealousy of Chris Godwin scoring all the time. So it's amazing to see those 2 veteran receivers just low key always showing up and everything. The consistency from the Tampa Bay receivers are insane. So, and like I said last week and the week before, they got an incredible defense, and that's returning still. They got a lot of returning players. It's a solid team, man. And they have actually a shot to challenge some actual NFC contenders, as we saw last week.
Here we go with your Patriots game 11. What is a tackle? Because 44 in the Jets lowered his shoulder. Here's your weekly what is a tackle type of gig here. But on to here. I mean, I have been the biggest anti-Bo Nix guy here. I called it from miles and miles and miles away.
An anti-Bo Nix. This has not been a very Bo Nix probably does not like this podcast if anyone's ever would show it to him.
Yeah. Yep. So I've been on, and especially his coach too, as well. So it's just a tornado of just like there. I don't see it. On the other hand, Baker. I mean, we're a very pro Baker podcast here, and Baker, I'm so happy for him. He's having that swagger that he had last year, as well as that one Cleveland run and all those years. True Oklahoma Baker is making plays where he's dishing out the pocket, running out, throwing on a run, and like he's making runs as well himself, sliding on his back like a turtle. Like it is awesome to see that. Like it's great for the game to see Baker truly home, and Tampa they've really just have given in to Baker. Like you can see it around him, the teammates, how they react around. It's great culture. Give me the Bucks points here. I don't think Denver is gonna be able to do anything here.
All right, that's the second squad ride. All right, now we get into some less. Well, that game wasn't great. So some other not so great games here. These next couple before we get into the 4 o'clock games. All right, so this one interesting. This line I would imagine could shift quite a bit depending on how the next few days, what comes out over the next few days. It's the Packers-Titans game, potential Malik Willis revenge game, but there is some buzz that Jordan Love might be back already, which is crazy considering on that night you thought his season might have been over. Now he might be back for week 3. Currently, the Titans are 2.5-point favorites, so that tells me they don't think he's playing because if Jordan Love's playing, the Packers, I would imagine, would be favored. If that news changes, I'd imagine this line will shift to the Green Bay side. listen, I made the whole spiel. We all made the spiel about you only get to so many chances to bet against Malik Willis last week, and they won. Um, so I'm gonna take Green Bay here, getting the 2.5 points, especially because we're locking this in, and if I'm getting Jordan Love plus 2.5, that feels real good. Even so though, Will Levis is becoming dangerously close to just like I don't know why you would ever bet on him quarterback territory, and it feels bad because like he's not overall he's outplaying some of these other quarterbacks that have been terrible, like some of the rookies and the Anthony Richardsons and some of the mediocre quarterbacks in the league. But his couple bad plays are just so bad that it makes him like maybe the worst guy. Like overall, he's not the worst quarterback. He's completing a decent percentage of his throws. He has a big arm. He's not terrible most of the time, but his dumb plays are literally so dumb that it just makes him, I mean, maybe the worst, because he already has two of like the most unbelievable interceptions you've seen. They might hit the Mason Rudolph button before this is all said and done. So give me the plus 2.5.
Cristian, why don't you take this one?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Vegas, I would be more confident Jordan Love's playing if this line would have flipped by now.
Yeah, they
I
might. Yeah.
The fact that the line is here, I think Jordan's not playing. And Bake is still just the way they've been playing. Tennessee is a favorite. I'm gonna have to lean with Vegas on this of Tennessee minus 2.5. I don't like it at all, but on the other hand, Malik Willis is also still playing. He played decent last week, but I just, and it's also Malik Willis revenge game. So I mean, I would also possibly look at Will Levis anytime touchdown here at. Why is Will Levis not listed? I mean, not Willis. Whatever his name is, Malik Willis.
Probably because maybe they think Jordan Love is going to come back.
Yeah, Malik. Actually, yeah, I'm looking at it. Malik Willis is not labeled here. So, but for you listeners on Sunday, if he is available, I would probably just put a little bit on that for a little revenge TD. But I'm leaning Titans here to points. Will Levis, on the other hand, I would argue is great for the sport of football. He is
true. I agree with that.
Yes, sir. I hear someone's throwing a weirdo QB there. I like it.
He's necessary. He is Jameis Winston. He is just screw it play guy, and I respect it. I love it. It's probably not good for him and his whole status as the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. But god dang, does it give you some sort of entertainment just to see Will Levis doing some stupid stuff out on that field? And I'm like, you know what? Let's just ride at this. So shout Will Levis.
That's awesome, man. That was probably one of the best comparisons. I'm going with the Titans here. Actually, I think I initially was going to go with the Packers, but despite the fact that Jordan Love or Malik Willis play this game, I just want to ride with the Titans. They've been having, like you guys, he's been beating himself. Will Levis has. It's been heartbreaking actions. That's really been all the meme-worthy plays, and he's just been making a lot of questionable decisions. Well, I think that if he gets his act right for one game, he lights it up, and we see him do it before in rivalry games. So why can't he do it here? And so I'm going to take the Titans. I think Will Levis surprises us. I know LaFleur is going to have a good challenge for him on defensive side of things, but I think he'll be just fine if he just airs it out. I think he'll be fine.
All right, fair enough. That's going to be another interesting one to see how that plays out. All right, now we get into the 4:00 games, and this one is by far the worst game of the weekend. I mean, I don't even think it's particularly close. Jalen's beloved Las Vegas Raiders at home for the biggest disaster in the NFL by a mile. The Carolina Panthers, who've already benched Bryce Young 2 games into year 2 after giving up all that to draft him. Just an unmitigated disaster. The Raiders are 5.5-point favorites.
Not enough.
Call me crazy.
Not enough.
I'm kind of I'm going to take the Panthers here.
Got to double that line, I'm telling you.
The Andy Dalton bump Andy Dalton, who would have thought? We're 3 years into this podcast. We're still getting Andy Dalton. Who would have
You know
thought?
who can't believe it? I know who can't believe it. It's the guy that's fading in and out of this podcast.
He,
Cristian.
he I just don't. I mean, the Raiders. Look, they proved me wrong last week. They somehow won that game against Baltimore. I'm not comfortable swallowing 5.5 with the Raiders. I think they'll win this game, but I think the Panthers get a little bit of a bump here because Bryce Young feels bad for the kid because I mean he's in the worst situation he could be in, but he's been terrible. So I think they get an Andy Dalton bump. I would take the Panthers plus 5.5. That might be very stupid, but that's where I'm leaning.
Interesting, Colby. Cristian, what do you got? You were holding it back for a minute.
We can't do this again. We cannot, I repeat, do this again. But god dang, I think we're gonna do it again. Andy Dalton is undefeated against the Raiders.
Really?
Damn it.
I'm taking the Panthers and the points.
All right. Good thing we're not going to do
the
this
Raiders
again.
minus 20. He thinks they're the best team of all time.
Yeah, I was about to say minus 10.5, actually, Colby. Oh, actually, minus 11. That would be the double there. I'm obviously taking the Raiders in this spot. Come on, guys. Don't be falling for superstition and Andy Dalton. Cristian, what happened to you being disgusted with seeing Andy Dalton just being on the face of the earth? I mean, come on. I was expecting some support.
It wasn't until I saw that stat that he's undefeated against the Raiders.
That is an interesting stat. That's wild.
I can't believe he's undefeated
against anyone.
And
of all the teams.
As Colby was saying, it's the first game that Bryce got benched. Maybe Andy he gets hurt, and Bryce comes in, and he's a hero, and he's like, all the teammates are like, yeah, let's get together. But the whole Bryce Young
Mickey Mouse
situation
himself comes out there, hands him a bouquet hands him the Super Bowl.
Ah, God, Bryce Young. I knew it was bad vibes as soon as that training camp photo came out where he looked like a middle schooler with his book bag that was kind of like dragged out, and he came in with like a Nike Pro shirt and shorts, and wasn't the best look. Bryce, if you're listening to this podcast, man, I'll see you at the bars on the weekend. If you're in the corner, say hello. I mean, obviously,
you live
you're the
in
same
Charlotte.
height.
That's right.
Yeah, so if you're the same height, man, you won't get noticeable. So if you want to hang out, have a good time, just hit me up.
That's right.
There you
go. Point. He might look like a regular Joe.
Guest appearance by Bryce Young, that'd be great. I think I already asked you this before, but it's been a few weeks now, so I'll ask again. Have you almost been run over by LaMelo Ball yet? Has that
No. I think once basketball season he's actually healthy, I think maybe we'll see him more often. No, I have not seen him
start living there.
Yeah. I've not seen him or his Mario studded car. So.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Only 2 squad rides. This bodes well, I think. All right, next game. Dolphins at Seattle. The Dolphins, obviously the Tua situation is a bummer. The Seahawks 4.5-point favorites. I assume I know they just picked up Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley, but I'm assuming it's Skylar Thompson this week because he just got there. Yeah, I mean, I'll just be quick. I mean, I'm not going to bet on Skylar Thompson. So I'll take the Seahawks minus the 4.5. And also, shout out, they're 2-0. Shout out Geno. He's been balling through 2 games. He's been great. So I'll take Seattle here.
Your biggest mistake will be betting against Skylar Thompson.
Oh, guys. That's right. He is in the Weirdos Jalen QB bar. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
One of the lower members.
However, I'm actually going to join you guys on the Seattle train here. This is one of the teams that I've been fading, and I just want to test the waters here. I just want to see what Seattle's got in the bag. I think their defense will be challenging enough to put Skylar Thompson in a bit of a pickle, to say the least. So I'm going with Seattle. Test Geno Smith here, see if I trust him or not, and go from there.
I'm not taking Skylar Thompson in a situation. What are we talking about? And
come on.
Like the guy had the Buffalo game. Everyone was like, oh, he had the Buffalo game. The guy came in last week, did not look good at all. And he's going against Seattle. I've been the biggest Seattle homer here. I mean, Seattle is honestly my NFC team
Good.
because of Coach Mack. Every speech I see, I'm like, God, dude, we just could have kept you and made you the head coach and just Money Mac, his defensive schemes that I love. -4.5. Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me.
All right, that's the third squad ride. Next game, maybe the most potential to be the most electrifying game of that weekend. Lions in Arizona. Lions are 3-point favorites on the road. Maybe this is recency bias, but I gotta tell you, I'm slamming the Cardinals plus the 3 here. Kyler Murray last week, that was one of the best games I've seen a quarterback play. He was unreal against the Rams. He is easily, I don't know where you rank him. I guess he's probably like fringes outside the top 10 quarterback rankings. He is easily top 4 or 5 most fun to watch quarterback. The stuff he can do is just unreal. Arizona getting 3 at home, their offense is dynamite. Now maybe the Rams are just so depleted that I don't expect them to blow Detroit out or anything. And Detroit is good. I think they'll be fine, even though they lost last week. But I'm taking Arizona getting points at home. Their offense is legit.
Christian.
This one is another one where I would have picked whoever the dog was in this situation. I'm going to Cardinals +3. Kyler, he looked electrifying out there. I mean, rolling out to the left and hitting that wide receiver touchdown that was just sliding on. I was like,
He had a play where it was just like a 20 yard completion for first down, but where he like spun out of a sack. He's like running to the sidelines, getting hit out of bounds, and just threw it on a dot for like a 20-yard gain. I was like, this guy's unbelievable.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's the one.
I
think that was the one on the sideline, and Marvin Harrison stood and he saw Kyler getting pressure and he stood back a little and right on the pocket on the sideline. So MVP Kyler is also another one that could be here. I mean, there's been the whispers. I mean, he has the resources here this year. I mean, James Conner is another one. James Conner, man.
I can't
that guy
still is. He's been going strong.
He's going strong. That man is strong. It takes like 2 people to take him down. He is a true power running back in today's league, which I do appreciate because I feel like we sway more to receiving backs nowadays. He's a true power, just straight out your mouth type of running back. And the way that he runs straight up too as well. And he's just taking these guys down. So I like the Cards here in the situation. The Lions, I mean, it's going to be a shootout. This is going to be a shootout. It's going to be a classic Lions shootout. I'm telling you right now. So touchdown props look good here, I think. But yeah, give me the Cards.
Man. Oh man. All right, guys. I got some breaking news before I break in my picks here on this game. I got Lou on the line. I got him to send in some of his takes here. Needless to say, we got 2 squad rides that are alive right now. When he sent in his locks, he did confirm that he has the Bucks and he does like Seattle. Seattle's not on his locks, but he does have Seattle as a squad ride. However, he did take away the Bears squad ride. He's going with Anthony Richardson and the Colts. All right,
so we're removing that. You made a more.
That's what we need to discuss right now. Do we remove it just because he's not here, or do we?
I think you have to be here live in a moment.
That's fine.
I think.
I was about to say. I feel like we have some confidence here on the Bears. I feel like we should. This would be one of those overrule ones.
We'll count his locks still, but I'll keep it.
If you hear this, man, we're sorry, but we weren't here. We gotta overrule. I feel pretty confident on that Bears take. That's why too.
I love the Bears this week. All right, good. What do you think on this Arizona game?
This Arizona game. It's very interesting to see how fast people fall off the Lions. You know, I mean, you get enamored by what Kyler Murray's doing. What was that, Colby?
I was just saying I'm not off the Lions. I just like Arizona. I just am surprised they're 3-point dogs at home.
Yeah, that's a good point. They do get 3 points at home, but I'm going to go with. I think that the Lions here, there's a reason why they're favored. I'm going to take them to cover this game. It might lead to a push, to be quite honest, but something's got to be there that excite me. And there's a reason why the Lions are in this position of hype. Cardinals, honestly, I might talk myself out of the Lions because I just find more things to like with the Cardinals, actually. Let's think about it. I mean, like you guys were mentioning, Kyler Murray is just popping off. James Conner, like you guys were mentioning, insane. I didn't get my word in, but yes, he is an insane man. He almost gave me an aneurysm on fucking Sunday. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going on with the Arizona team, and their defense is still solid. They did bully a very deflated Rams team. So you guys brought up a lot of good points, man. I thought I was coming in strong on this Lions one, but I'm actually going to I'm going to join you on and take the Cardinals and the
All right,
points.
there we go. Squad ride. That's number 4. Okay, Cardinals +3. All right, we'll crank through some of these, I would imagine. A few more games to go. All right, Cristian, you said you've already given up. Your Baltimore Ravens in Dallas. Brady game. Fox, America's game of the week. Ravens are 1.5-point favorites on the road. Would you like to go first, or would you like us to go?
No, I'll go first. It hasn't been good the past 2 weeks. We're literally argumentally plays away from being 2-0 right now. It's very disappointing, especially with Harbs. I've been the biggest Harbs guy forever. I'm one of his last defenders on the line. However, last week's challenges really, 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 really rattled me. The clock management and just it's bad. And I don't know how to describe it just by just that mean defeat. But however, there is one thing that can get me back onto board. And that is a win in the win column. And interesting enough, we're facing an NFC team. You know who owns the NFC? Mr. Lamar Jackson owns the NFC. Give me the Baltimore Ravens -1.5 here. If this is an AFC team, you probably would have had me pick another way right now. But it's the NFC, and apparently the Cowboys are using Trey Lance as a decoy for Lamar.
Yeah, okay, that'll work.
Yeah, and Michael apparently may be used as a spy. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather take Michael as a spy rather than him rushing our line. That is clearly not good on one certain side. But it's the NFC. Lamar has only lost 1 game to the NFC, and that was atrocious Giants game a few years back. But yeah, give me on this last. I hope if Baltimore loses this game, it's going to be very hard for me to pick Baltimore the rest of the year.
Look, man, I'll give you some energy for this Ravens team that needs it. I'm going with the Ravens as well. I think it's good to see old habits die hard, right, Mike Zimmer? Looks like Alvin Kamara really gave you a good old lesson about what you didn't learn these last couple of years while you were off. I don't know what you were doing, to be quite honest. Couldn't care less. Especially when Kevin O'Connell's been cooking since you've been gone. So I'm going with Baltimore. I think Dallas here is going to take another week of struggles, mostly because Cristian mentioned the NFC factor. Lamar will show up. And B, I also think that defense of the Dallas Cowboys is going to be very, very wide open. And I think that the Baltimore Ravens, they're in an away game spot. I think they'll show up. They did show up pretty close. They lost by inches, centimeters when they went on the road. So I think they'll continue that happen, and they're going to show us that they're a good team on the road. I'm going to take the Ravens on this spot, -1.5.
Yeah, I'll go real quick. I mean, I agree with pretty much everything you said. This can be a squad ride. I'm taking the Ravens. Sorry, Cristian. 1, they're desperate. And then 2, just as Cristian mentioned, I mean, Lamar against the NFC has literally been the safest bet in the whole league for the last 3-4 years. So, yeah.
I'm very glad no one in the media has brought that factor up just yet, because I felt like if that narrative is being pushed on, it's like kind of like, oh God, just got jinxed essentially. No, I have not heard anyone bring that up the whole week, and I've been monitoring that because it's a big deal. The man owns the NFC.
Yeah, he's dominant. So yeah, I'm with y'all. That's fifth squad ride. Okay, we
This
got
might be the time where we can activate that clause. I'm going to send it over to Lou, see what he thinks here, because he's been big on Dallas. Very surprised, Christian. I thought you were a temporary Dallas fan this season.
We'll put that on pause for a day.
all right.
Just making sure.
All right, 4 games to go. I feel
You
like
went with Baltimore, Christian. Sorry.
quick. This one I'm gonna go real quick on this one. The Niners Rams. Niners at the Rams, 6.5 point favorites, but this is probably a Niners home game, even though it's in LA. The Niners own the Rams 1 and 2. Feels bad because I like the Rams. I've always liked Stafford just because I always felt bad for him all those years he was in Detroit. I was like, this guy's good. He's just being screwed by the Lions. But they feel like it seems like they're just the team that's just going to be completely derailed by injuries. They don't have any receivers. Their line is in smithereens. So they're completely depleted. The Niners are banged up too, but not as much as the Rams. So I'm taking the Niners -6.5.
This one be one of the games where you look at the over/under, Colby.
Over under 43.5.
That's pretty low too for a Matthew Stafford game. That's incredibly low. But when you describe your situation like that, it makes sense. I think in this game, what we're going to see is a lot of Jordan Mason, a lot of Kyron Williams if he's playing, and a lot of just running back. Something safe, something reliable, and that is a pretty cool super moon. But yeah, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go ahead and take the. Man, I'm going to take the. That's a lot of points, dude. That is a lot of points for what it might be a very gross football game. Give me the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams here,
Hey,
plus 6.5.
I like it. I hope we don't get to 8 squad rides again. So I like that. Good. Cristian.
We're going to San Francisco 2.0. I mean, the videos of these games every single year, it is just filled with red. Top to bottom, upper bowl, suites, lower bowl. The 49ers own Los Angeles every time this game comes in. The 49ers are decimated by injuries, however, with all their star players. And, the argument will be thrown out there that I'm surprised Colby didn't bring it up, that Brock Purdy, might be a superstar merchant. So that's going to be put to the test this weekend, as well as the Rams are this year. It's just, I like to put it, they're this year's Baltimore Ravens, typically every other year, where they're decimated by injuries and it's dead. I feel bad, but the Rams could be that second half of the year, the team that could get hot once everyone starts coming back, or they could be the ankle biters. So I wouldn't completely put them out the picture. It's just not looking good for these first couple weeks here. But, however, it is San Fran 2.0. This is going to be a shootout, honestly. I don't understand 43.5. I love the over here. So give me San Fran -6.5.
All right.
We just shanked that.
Yeah, that was a bad Greg the leg.
He shanked it? Oh, God, I was doing this one, and he missed it?
Yeah, Greg the leg.
He shanked it.
Bad. He
shanked it bad.
Kickers that's been one of the stories of the year so far. Kickers have been balling. The kickers are all going crazy. All right, primetime games, Sunday Night Football, primetime, under the lights, Kirk Cousins. Shout out to Kirk Cousins, by the way. Can we just take a second to appreciate that he completely, these last couple seasons, has flipped the script on his primetime woes, and now he's kind of been balling his last couple primetime games. Chiefs coming into town, Taylor Swift and company going into Atlanta. Chiefs are 3-point favorites on the road, and I love the Falcons here. Love them. Love them. One, the Chiefs, as great as they are, they're the reigning dynasty, obviously. They are not good against the spread. They do not cover spreads. We were all on them last week against the Bengals, and they won and didn't cover. They are the kings of winning and not covering. So Atlanta getting points at home. Why are the Chiefs getting up for this game, man? They're trying to win three in a row. This is not a game. This means, I'm sure, so much more to the Falcons. I don't know if Atlanta wins, but I'm taking the 3 points at home. Give me Falcons +3.
Christian, I'm going to give you a chance. I wanted to be fair, but I just wanted to see what you're thinking. Oh, they could have called that.
You're putting it in my hands right now because I have a feeling my decision here is going to have a lot of effect on what's about to happen here.
Really, I have a fun trend. I have a fun trend, and if I say it, I feel like it would just automatically jump onto the trend. So I just wanted to see what your thoughts were before that.
Oh God. As Colby has discussed, the Chiefs have not been covering the spread here. And Kirko, oh my God. I love that master class last drive on Monday night. That master class. And first of all, I should have brought this up when we were talking about the Eagles. What kind of bonehead decision making was that to throw the ball? You run the ball and you take off 40 seconds of the play clock and you're having a minute left. I understand the Falcons still have time left, but that's a different play calling decision that you have to make when you have no timeouts and a minute left. That's way different than a minute 40. That is a completely different ballpark you're talking about there. So the argument of like, oh, that's a good decision to throw it. I disagree. I think that should have been on it. And honestly, you should have run the ball twice, considering how much the Eagles were pushing right there. Saquon could have easily got one or two, and then you push it. So that was crazy. But Kirko came out cool as a cucumber, an absolute laser Darnell Mooney revival. My only complaint is my big thing with Bijan. I would like Bijan to reach the end zone here, but I'm very scared he won't. Again, I'm very scared we are in a situation where it's last year where Bijan does not get the touchdown, but he'll get the job of getting them there, and he won't get the satisfaction. With that lean all said, I'm taking the Falcons +3 here. I'm taking the points at home. Kirko might be hot.
All right, Jalen, give us your trend.
I think you were trying to send your TikTok, but you just sent me Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh no. Okay. don't worry about that. Twitter, because Twitter's not working, so I sent it to my buddy the other day. I was trying to send you the Derek Carr video, but that's the wrong video, so that's unrelated.
Good, that was good. I just turned around. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is what Colby was talking about, and I just read the caption, and I'm like, that is not what he was talking about.
Listen,
Colby,
let me do a 2-second rant. Whatever you think of, I'm not going to talk about Elon Musk's politics, whether you agree with his politics or not. He's just made the app worse. Half the time, it doesn't even work. It's a disaster. The app is so much worse than it used to be. And it bums me out because that's my favorite social media. I'm addicted to Twitter. I'm bad about it. And half the time, it just doesn't even work at all. So regardless, you want to be a far right guy, whatever, that's fine. I'm not going to get into your politics, but come on, dude. You made the app worse. The interface sucks. It crashes constantly. It drives me nuts.
Cristian, you use Twitter a lot. What are your thoughts on that?
I love Twitter. It's my favorite site because of how unhinged it is. But I mean, I don't have any major complaints like Colby does. I mean, I think I do a good job at sharing tweets and not having a problem. So maybe it's a you problem, Colby, but I have not had that problem.
Okay, well, maybe it's because I have an Android, but that's probably it does not work for me. And it bums me out because I'm with you. That's by far my favorite social media because it is unhinged and it's hilarious. But good Lord, half the time it will not work for me.
It's called X. I know we all said Twitter, but it's called X. Remember that. Sure. So here's the fun trend. Back to the sports world of things, is I don't use X or Twitter, whichever one you prefer. Lou is 0-2 on picking his own team.
Oh God!
And this week, boys, he went with the Chiefs.
Good. Oh, good.
I think this is another week where we all hammer the and we test this theory. I think we got one, guys. He said this though about the Chiefs. He said they're just a really good team, and he thinks the magic won't be there for the Falcons this time around. I think the Falcons at home could be a fun watch. It would be awesome to see. Could be challenging for Mahomes, and like Colby said, can they rise to the occasion? Can they accomplish this game? So, give me the Falcons, and give Lou the Chiefs.
Should I not count that as a squad ride then? I know we said we weren't counting.
No, this is his team, so let's not count that as a squad ride.
All right, all the other ones though, I'm counting as squad rides, but since it's his team, just to keep the trend going, I won't count that. All right, let's finish. We got 7 minutes on here. We'll finish this and then the final Zoom do the locks. All right. For some reason, there's 2 Monday night games this week. I don't really know. I'm not really sure why. They're not even
They
great.
changed that format last year.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to do it in week 3, but whatever. First one, Jags at Bills. Bills 4.5 point favorites. Bills rolling. Jags way down at the dumps. My Jags over. My over unders. I might go over 5. I mean, that was terrible.
Should. Picking the
Not
Vikings
looking good
first.
2 weeks. I gotta tell you though, I'm still not quite ready to give up on the Jags completely. I'm gonna take them here, getting 4.5. The Bills are better, for sure. I don't know that they can win, but they are desperate. I do feel like, listen, Josh Allen's great. He does have the letdown games. He does have the sloppy interception turnover games. The Bills always have some letdown spots. The Jags are completely desperate. Because of all those factors, I'm taking the Jags plus 4.5. I just think at some point Josh Allen's going to have one of those nights, and the Jags are not going to go 0-17. Like they're going to get some wins eventually. So I'll take Jacksonville plus 4.5.
I'm definitely going to be taking the Bills minus 4.5 and Buffalo. This could get ugly real quick, in my opinion. I don't need that. Looking like one of the perennial AFC favorites right now. They're looking like they're actually going to be the ones to challenge the Chiefs again.
Oh, how many
So
times have we said that?
I believe. Let's see. Let's see if Buffalo can get the job done and keep the faith, keep the wagons rolling, man. So keep circling those wagons. Give me the Bills.
I actually like Colby took the words out of my mouth here. This is a complete like desperate spot for the Jaguars, and we are in a situation where Josh Allen does have those bad games. And I don't know, I just have a weird feeling with the Jaguars here in a prime time spot. I actually trust the Jags more in prime time than I see them on a 1 o'clock slot. It's just a weird feeling I have with this line here. I think the Jaguars they're in a desperate situation where they win this game outright. Honestly, in Buffalo, Trevor Lawrence has a good game. Give me Jags plus 4.5. But before I also that I got an issue with the Bills right now. The
Oh,
whole Josh Allen narrative last week of like, oh my God, Josh Allen, he's the best quarterback in the league, number right behind Patrick Mahomes, and all this that Stephen A. and all them were talking about on Friday. Josh Allen had like 150 yards and a touchdown on
yeah, they
Thursday
just
Night Football
man,
game. Well, like the guy made his throws that he needed to make, but he did not do a like superstar MVP night type of caliber. Like I was very confused by that narrative because I was like, what are we pushing here right now? That
Is it because you're trying to defend the fact that maybe Josh Allen deserved an MVP or so? Maybe are you trying to fight off those haters from last year still?
yeah, that one vote for Josh Allen that was absurd, absurd.
yeah, Lamar.
That's just because they didn't want to make it unanimous.
That is crazy. Yeah, you're right though. The Bills, literally everyone's running the ball these days, so it's interesting. All right, let's see. We got 4 minutes. I don't know if this is enough time, but we're gonna try it because it's Christian's favorite team. The Bengals at home, desperate. Speaking of desperate, 0-2 Bengals at home for the commies. The Bengals are 7.5 point favorites. Um, they lost to the Chiefs. They looked much better than they did against the Patriots. Burrow looked much better. He looked a lot better than Rex Grossman ever did. I'll tell you that much. So they're 7.5 point favorites in Washington. I always have to be the voice of reason with the Bengals, even though I don't like them and I don't want them to succeed. I think they will certainly win this game, but that's too many points. I'm definitely taking commies plus 7.5. Jaden Daniels is unique. He's been the best of the rookie quarterbacks. Not that that's a high bar. Um, so Cincinnati wins, but give me Washington to cover. That's too many points. Christian, you just want to go
I
ahead?
think I think I
Yeah.
think I think Jalen should go here with
Go
just
ahead.
three
All right,
minutes
Jalen, go
left.
ahead. You're gonna
Yeah,
have
I was about to say,
2 minutes.
let me lessen the blow before this just gets completely out of hand here. Wow. Minus 7.5.
It's a lot of points for an 0-2 team to be laying.
Too many points. I have a strong feeling Christian's going to say everything that I need to say. So give me the Commanders. I'll take the points.
Uh, I don't like where this is headed. Christian. 240.
It's Cristian.
Try to keep it
Oh
under.
God.
No pressure.
We're in crunch time. Okay. Where is the narrative right now with Joe Burrow and the team? They're like I don't understand this whole media push right now of bearing everyone else, and Joe Burrow is your promised child. And he's like, oh my God, he put a matchup against the Chiefs twice. Joe Burrow lost a fumble 6 for a touchdown here, and he didn't get one single criticism the whole week. I have been high alert this whole time trying to watch nothing. The man didn't win it when he needed to win it, and the Bengals are 0-2 here. I have a flaming hot take that I sat on when I watched that game. Joe Burrow gets more praise for making a Mickey Mouse Super Bowl run rather than what Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl. I would argue that. No one brings up that Matthew Stafford, won the Super Bowl. He's great. Everyone else gives praise to the person he beat there on that field in Los Angeles. I'm sick and tired of this. That is too many points. Commanders plus 7.5 here. Book it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very fair take about Stafford. Listen, I've been
No.
up Stafford, so that's a fair take.
I don't know what
The
Lou's
Commander,
doing.
I got to tell you though, does not make me feel good that we have a squad ride on the
No,
Commander.
we do not. Nope. That's what I'm here to pause, guys. We got the LSU supporter himself. He's taking the Bengals in the points.
Well, I thought we
So-
weren't counting his for squad rides, except for the Falcons.
I know, but I'm just mentioning.
I'm
we'll keep
counting
this squad ride.
Commanders plus 7.5.
You're that strong about this. Okay. I'm taking it then. If
I
we're all
don't
strong about the
feel good
Commanders
because,
covering,
listen,
I'm all for it.
I
I think
agree
they
with-
actually have a chance to win this game too, by the
I
way.
think
So.
it's possible. I agree with everything we've said, but the Commanders are just one of those teams that you don't feel good about having all of us being on. But
that's why it feels a little better to have them though. To have Blue pick the Bengals.
Right. We'll see. All right, we'll come back for the good stuff to wrap up in a sec. All right, before we get to the locks and the upset alert or upset picks, Cristian, do list time. How we
Yeah.
feel?
God, it was disappointing last week to see Amon-Ra literally get to the 2-yard line after he caught like a nice little slant pass. That was quite heartbreaking. And Travis is just doing cardio out there. So it's absurd with that piece. This week, honorable mentions that I was looking at Saquon, but he was at minus 160, and then as well as a sneaky. Actually, no, never mind. I had Joe Mixon, but with the reports I've been seeing that Joe Mixon may be out. But as well, Brock Bowers was also a sneaky pick as well. He was game fed last week. He didn't reach the end zone. So those were honorables, just to have top of mind. I am actually staying away from all the 1:00 games here at first. We got to switch things up here. So no 1:00 sweat out the gate. We're going to go to the 4:00 games. First one, we're going to, I haven't picked them to season. Debo's out. San Fran is in their home of 2.0. Shootout game, I anticipate. Give me Brandon Ayuk. Purdy loves Ayuk when Debo is out because Ayuk is your true X receiver. So you saw that last season. Ayuk was pulling up yards and touchdowns once Debo was out. So feed that to me here in this first leg. The second leg, we're going to revisit here. We're going back to Amon-Ra St. Brown in another shootout with the Lions and the Cards here. I mean, Amon-Ra was getting fed. He was having those target shares. There's no way this guy goes 3 weeks without a touchdown. We know his personality. He just doesn't have that persona. And the last one, which I'm probably the most scared of, but my situation is his girlfriend, I hope, is not at this game. We're going back to Travis Kelce as well here, in the Sunday night here. Maybe I'm testing this out. If Taylor is not at this game because it's not a home game and it's an away game, maybe Travis actually performs. I can focus on football here rather than being a internet pop star.
Kamala Harris going to be there.
So that's a theory that it's going to be tested here. If I log on to Peacock and I go to Sunday Night Football and I see that chick there in Atlanta where she should not be in, I'm going to lose my mind. So that's where we're at right now. But those odds, Gives you a nice juicy 986 here.
I like that. Seems reasonable. Going back to Travis is a surprise, but it
I know.
Could work out. We'll see. All right.
Well, hang on now. Hang on.
Jalen, take us away.
Kelce, one more time. It's bold, Cristian. I respect the game though. And Amon Ra, the only reason why I want to pause this is just because I agree with the whole premise of that this is 3 weeks. Why not? I'm surprised you didn't put Marvin Harrison in that from the same game. The only person I thought you would having on this do list was see if you put Marvin Harrison
He had 2
on.
touchdowns last
week. He had two touchdowns last week. So that's
why not one more? I thought this would be an easy.
Yeah, but this is a They're true.
Yeah,
it's called
he hasn't made his debut on this list, has he?
No, but he will be at some point. I can guarantee that. But this is a dues list for a reason. I have to go against the people that haven't scored touchdowns. But I was very hesitant on putting Bijan here in this spot instead of Travis. But I don't know if I can handle another heartbreaker from Bijan again, considering Bijan has never scored when I put him in this parlay.
I just hope that these two hit, man. Especially Kelce and Amon Ra. I'd have a lot of faith in IU with no Debo. That one I'm not worried about. Not gonna admit that one. America's favorite picks, America's favorite segment is time for locks. The first place person is Lou, like Colby was saying, and his locks this week are.
Oh, he's going to take some good ones off the board, I bet. That's going to make it tricky. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, this is how it feels when we're not in first place, guys, in our own show.
Yeah, we really got to bounce back this week, boys, as a collective. Last week was rough. We were all 1-2 last week. Brutal.
He's number one. How about this? Do we want to challenge him or do we want to keep it classic rules here? He's the new guy.
Just let's hear it.
Let him have it. All right, here we go. The 3 that he has. Number 1 off the board is the Colts, -1.5.
That's fine. He can take that one.
He went Bucks, -6.5.
Okay, he can have that one.
He went Texans, -2.5.
Darn.
I probably wouldn't have had any of those on my board.
Okay. All right. Let's calm down.
This is a wild pick, but maybe he'll be right. All favorites. Okay. All right. So we're going in standings, or we want to go reverse standings for the 3 of us?
We're keeping it in the standings, so that means Colby, you still got it, man.
All right, I still got it. Ooh, okay. That's
you got it above me.
I like a lot of dogs this week. A lot of good options to go with here. Give me Arizona plus the 3. I really like the Cardinals this week.
See here. So you went Arizona. I'm going with give me the Raiders -5.5. Obviously, that's the easiest one. I mean, I don't know what y'all been drinking.
Okay. All right, Cristian, back-to-back picks, 1 and 5.
1 and 5. First, I will be taking. God, dude, I need a good 3-0 here. I need to. Oh boy, we're gonna go first. Seattle -4.5.
Good pick
against Skylar Thompson.
Certainly.
And second, we're gonna go. This one's gonna be a roll of dice. Give me the Chargers +1.5.
Okay. All right, Jalen, back to you.
Give me. Can I take the Jets?
What? This game's almost over.
The valid question.
You can't take the Jets. No way.
Dude, I don't want to touch any of these primetime games. Besides this one, of course. Give me the Bears.
That was going to be one of my picks. Damn, 1.5 +1.5. Okay. All right. So I got back-to-back picks here to finish out for me. Let me go. Man, Bears was 100% going to be one of mine. I'll take my favorite actually. Give me New Orleans -2.5. I think that's a good matchup for them against the Eagles. I'm really worried about the Eagles defense. And then after that, let me go. Actually, you know what? I said I like dogs, but I'm going to end up taking two favorites. Also, give me Baltimore -1.5.
God dang it!
Or against the NFC. I love that. So give me Ravens -1.5.
My faith has to stay strong. Then I'll go ahead and give, even though he's not even here, I'll give him his first challenge. Give me the Vikings +2.5 over the Texans.
All right. Cristian back-to-back to finish it out. Oh, no, you just get one.
Just get one here. And I'm going to challenge Colby here. Give me the Eagles +2.5.
Ooh, okay. All right. This is a good week of games. These are a lot. I'm very excited to watch a lot of these games. There's some very exciting, intriguing matchups. No huge spread, no double-digit spreads or anything. So that's good. I think 7.5 is the biggest number on the board.
Yeah, and every single week, the largest spread of the week has lost. Fun fact.
And we didn't even touch that game either.
Yeah, the fact that we're all three on the Washington Commanders has made me want to stay away from that as a lock.
But I mean, like I said, every week the biggest spread has lost.
I mean, I love the pick in theory, but they are Washington, so.
Right, let's go ahead, run them down, Colby. Run down the locks real quick for the people before we get to the upsets.
All right, so you heard Lou's. So Lou in first place, he got Colts -1.5, Bucks -6.5, Texans -2.5. I'm on the Cardinals +3, Saints -2.5, Ravens -1.5. Cristian, you got the Seahawks -4.5, Chargers +1.5. Eagles +2.5. Jalen, you're on your beloved Raiders -5.5. The Bears +1.5. Vikings +2.5. I would have certainly taken that Bears pick. I wanted that pick.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. It is now time for the upsets. Everyone last week got their upsets correct. Congratulations, everyone. But
us.
yeah, we got that's some good news for this podcast. We're undefeated since last week. But also Colby and Lou, you guys are the two guys that got your upsets correct both weeks so far. You guys are 2-0. So you guys are coming in hot in this segment. So we're gonna keep the order. Lou has already picked the Eagles as his upset pick of the week. Colby, your turn. What do you got?
I'm not going to actually double down with Arizona because that's boring. Give me the Falcons again. Or well, I didn't have them last week. I had the Bills last week, but I had the Falcons as my only lock to hit. Give me the Falcons +3. Why not? Who knows?
Cristian?
I'm going to double down with the Chargers.
I'm surprised you didn't go Panthers in this spot.
You guys had them as an option.
I'm surprised no one used the Panthers as an option.
I don't want the banner right now. I took the Panthers as a lock week 1. That never ever again. I'm never doing that.
Well, I'm glad that we're not doing a squad ride on the Panthers again this week. I'm glad that I'm the only one on the Raiders.
Probably good for you.
Yeah, hopefully. I was going to say, hopefully it is. I'm going to go with. Man, I really actually liked that. I guess this is the time to test the theory, right, guys? Give me the Commanders. I'll take the Commanders just to spice it up as well. Oh wait, no, Cristian doubled down. Never mind. I'll double down as well. Give me the Bears.
All right, Jalen.
Oh yeah. So there's another segment that America loves and that we hold beloved to our hearts and everything, and that is final thoughts, guys. It's time to talk about our final thoughts, and hopefully nothing gets too emotional. I mean, this is a very intense segment, right? So one, thanks. Let's give it to Cristian. Cristian, last time we had final thoughts, you were in one of America's hard-earned stadiums, one of the classic SEC strongholds, and it lived up to the hype. So what do you got queued up, and how was that experience, man?
Yeah. Final thoughts, William Brice Stadium, first ever SEC football environment. Let me tell you, SEC football, it's what they talk about. Those fans are another level of passion. You can hear it within the voices and just in the delusion sometimes with the penalties when there's sometimes the penalties are pretty clear. They're like, "What are you talking about, ref?" And then so but that game, I that game was a very ref heavy game. That was honestly quite the most ref happy game I've been to since the AFC Championship game last year. That was absurd. South Carolina, I think, did get screwed a little bit more, especially with the soft call on the QB on blindside block or whatever they call it, unnecessary roughness. It was as soon as the quarterback throws an interception, goes running after the person, he is a player on the field. So that was great. They sell beat boxes in the coolers there. That was first time I've ever seen beat boxes sell in the stadium. And then everything is cheap too as well. And I was surprised at how much quite things are. James got tacos, a cookie, and a water all under I think $10. It's absurd.
They're living it up in South Carolina.
Stadium?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
And that stadium was loud. Enter the sandstorm. That lived up to that. I had goosebumps. That was electric coming out. So great time. Thank you, University of South Carolina, for hosting here. They are on my college football rankings on my Instagram. If anyone wants to look at that, they are at the number 2 spot. Number 2. Very separate rankings for my pro sports. I can't compare pro to college. That's unfair. So 2 separate rankings on my profile.
It's unfair because some college stadiums are absurd.
Yeah, some college stadiums are absurd. So college football is all the way back. Arch Manning is taking the field this weekend as a true starter. Give me the Texas, whatever spread they are. I don't care what it is. Give me Arch this week to come in. And I don't know how I will feel if it causes QB controversy. But if a good game comes out of Arch, we may have a dilemma on our hands with Texas as the number 1 ranked team in the country.
It's crazy.
Very intriguing.
Wow.
I know you're taking the words out of my final thought. We're through and through, man. Goodness, getting me excited. Come on.
Minus 44.5.
Beautiful.
Really gonna be a nail biter.
Colby, go ahead, man.
I'll go quick with mine. I normally like to do a basketball one, but I'm actually going to stay in the NFL and go to my Steelers because I just want to give a shout out because, offensive linemen don't get a ton of run. So I just want to say the second round pick, rookie center, Zach Frazier out of West Virginia, looking like my favorite Steelers draft pick in a couple years. That kid is a beast. We've had bad center play since Marquise Pouncey retired, and we're back. That kid is awesome. He is bulldozing, pile driving through people. This is the best Steelers O-line they've had in a few years, which makes me a little more optimistic about the team. But they're still probably going to go 9-8, 10-7 out in the first round. But overall, I just want to give a shout out to him because he looks awesome. So I'm glad the Steelers have an awesome center again. Shout out Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. Big old West Virginia boy. Looking terrific through 2 games. It's a nice change. Welcome change. So shout out to him.
Came out of the Taco Man dynasty is what I've been told.
Yep.
A true prodigy.
Yep. Zach Frazier is awesome on the college football game. I will say that guy was a beast for the line. Also, before I forget, if Garrett Wilson doesn't score here tonight game, I'm letting everyone know he will be on the Dares Do list next week. I'm telling you that right now.
Listen, I hate to break this to you. He literally just scored as you said that.
No way.
He literally just scored a touchdown.
That's not what I want to hear, guys.
100%.
Hear that.
He literally just scored.
Thanks a lot,
me
guys.
too. On me too. That's funny.
I was about to say, isn't he 0-5? He has not scored in all his matchups against the Patriots until obviously just now when you guys wanted to talk about
that
it.
is hilarious.
Thanks a lot. Can we talk about
in
Brees
real
Hall?
time?
Maybe he'll
That's
get a
wild.
2-point conversion off this.
Cristian Gonzalez talked about him. That's great.
I mean, Gonzalez sold for the whole play, so you got to give him credit. He did sell out the whole thing. But
and live from Charlotte headquarters here, I can hear the Patriots fan here in this household slam something. So
Well, that's because they're supposed to win this game. This is the one game you are supposed to win if you're a Patriots fan. So to lose to the Jets in this fashion, I can only imagine what Matt's telling him right now. Our New York fan. I can only imagine what our in resident. I'm not a resident, but grew up there. So, man, taking all the thoughts and thunder from my final thoughts 2 times in a row, Cristian, right off the bat. I'm going to also add on to the Texas hype, I guess, man. I mean, goodness. Archie Manning, here we go. I already mentioned him at the beginning. So I guess I
no,
can't.
he turned.
You're right. I can't. That's right. You already took it. Oh, you already mentioned it too. So let me go with something that I actually do believe in. And that's going to be my campaign for Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell, my guy. I think if you win this game, you might officially be the head candidate for Coach of the Year. Colby said that you're one of the favorites. I feel like if you win this game with Sam Darnold, you beat the 49ers and Texans, you're 3-0, and everyone thought you'd be at the bottom of the division. I would highly argue that this man would be probably the perennial favorite for the head coach of the year spot. As long as he doesn't have to run into the Chiefs and have to prove that theory, I think that's all that matters. So, all in all, that is how that's going to go. And of course, this is going to be an awkward finish because Colby, usually this is some good stuff, but I don't think there's a way for us to stop the recording. So,
well, to fill in the space here, another live update here from the Charlotte headquarters here. The lights are off in the living room. The game is turned off. I don't hear it on anymore, which is disappointing. I was gonna
he
go
gave up?
watch.
No way did he give up.
James, did you turn off the game?
He turned off the game.
He didn't answer me. He did not answer me. He ignored me.
That's hilarious. The way you said it. All right, there he is. All right, guys, we gotta go. Colby, as you can see, you're busy right now, but that was some good stuff. Cristian, that was some good stuff, right?
Yeah.
See, there we go. Look at that.